Before we get started, can I get an applause for the makeup? Ooh, ooh. Thank you, thank you. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nani, and in today's Valentine's Day special, I will be discussing 7 tips on how to begin practicing self-love. So let's get started. Self-love is a term that I feel has become very popular in social media, and I've seen it a lot when it comes to the body positivity movement, and I've also seen it in the relationship slash dating advice community as well. And when these terms do come up in these conversations, whether it's about body positivity or relationships and dating, I typically have seen it as it's just something that you have to do, and there's not really much like explanation or guidance on how to do that. What I'm going to share with you today, my hope is to help shed some light on how to start that or how to continue doing that. I feel like there's not a lot of explanation on how to practice loving yourself, especially in the society that we live in where we're not taught how to love ourselves. I feel like we're taught how to find things to not love about ourselves or even hate about ourselves because there's always something that could be fixed or needs to be fixed. There's this idea that, oh, if I get this surgery, or oh, if I buy this outfit, or oh, if I dye my hair this color, it'll make me be more confident and I can love myself more. But self-love is much deeper than that. So let's start off by defining what is self-love. So according to Deborah from Psychology Today, she defines self-love as a state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions that support one's physical, psychological, and spiritual growth. In essence, self-love is pouring into different parts of you. As humans, we are very complex. We're made up of a lot of different things. And these things fall into the areas she mentioned in her definition, which is physical. So physical would be our physical health, right? Both inside and outside. Then we have psychological health, which is our mental health, our emotional well-being. And then we have spirituality, which, depending on the person, what God you believe in, or higher power, or religion you follow, that falls into the category of feeling connected to that via practice and learning and knowledge and things like that. Because we have all these different parts of ourselves, when we don't pour into all of these parts, we don't feel good about ourselves and we don't feel like at our best because there are parts of us that need us to pour into, to tend to. So let's get into these tips, which are also ways practicing how to pour into these different areas of yourself. All right, so number 1, become mindful. So being aware of who you are and acting on this instead of acting how others want you to act. So with being mindful, it's becoming aware of your wants, your thoughts, your feelings, if you're not already aware of them. And if you are, or once you are aware of, this is who I am, then you use that to live a life that you want to live, not a life that so-and-so says, not a life that society thinks that you should live based on your age, your ethnicity, background, education, whatever. Number 2, act on what you need rather than what you want. And an analogy that I have for this is, let's say you have to buy groceries, right? It's the end of the week, you have to buy groceries. However, for my ladies, let's say we want to get our nails done, and for the men, let's say we want to buy the newest video game that just came out. And I do know that not every woman likes to get her nails done, and same thing for men. These are just examples for this analogy, so bear with me. Okay, so you're deciding between groceries, the nails, or the video game. If you pick the nails or the video game, you're not prioritizing your needs and you're prioritizing your wants, because the nails or the video game are a want that you can get at a later date, versus the groceries are something you need right now in the immediate or near future. And you not getting the groceries is also going to impact you, because now you're not going to have enough food for the week. Learning how to differentiate between what is a need and what is a want is really important for that, because it's easy to be like, oh, let me just treat myself, let me get my nails done, or oh, let me get that new video game. But then after you do those things, you're faced with the, I don't have grocery money anymore, so now am I going to really be able to eat how I usually would for the rest of the week? Number 3, practice good self-care daily. This one is very important, but I also feel like it can be challenging. And I'll explain more in a bit. So self-care is also another popular term in the, I guess, wellness movement that's really popular now, like being really into wellness and taking care of yourself. That's constantly, oh, self-care, self-care, self-care. And it really gets advertised as, just get a face mask, go get your nails done, go do yoga, and you're taking care of yourself. Number 1, they're not going to work for everyone, and if they do work, it's more of like a temporary form of self-care. And so self-care is really your basic needs that need to be met every day. So that is eating, exercise, proper sleep, and healthy social interaction. Of this list of things, there are 2 things on this list that in our society is very normalized, tend to very poorly, and it's like celebrated. You're like the coolest person ever. Not really, but you'll see what I mean. Number 1, eating. How many times don't you hear, oh, this is my first meal of the day, and it's like 5? Or pushing breakfast later and later throughout the day because you just don't have time for it in the morning. And, oh, let me put this work activity before it. Or if you're in school, oh, let me put this class before it, this assignment before it. So putting work or school or any other responsibility over your eating, because you can wait until 12. And if it gets to 12 and you can't do it, oh, you can wait until 5, right? And it's like, no. Although you can wait, by the time it does get to 5, you're starving and you're not having a good time and you feel horrible. Yes, you got all those things done, but your body is like, hello, what about us? We're important too. Making sure that you eat enough for what's normal for your body is another important thing. Trying not to undereat as well, because when you undereat and you don't eat enough, your body does not have the energy to function at optimal level functioning throughout the day, which impacts you and your performance in your work, school, or whatever you're doing. It's going to impact that. Versus, if you make the time to eat something in the morning, you'll have that energy, you'll have that boost, and you'll feel much better. And your day can go much more easier in the sense that you're not thinking about, oh, I'm hungry, I need to eat, oh, I'm hungry, I need to eat, or oh, shoot, I haven't eaten yet. Eating is important. And I also wanted to add that make sure you eat. Like, no matter what it is, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, just eat. Don't focus so much on like, oh my god, I must eat a clean diet and I can never get any junk food. Eat what you can afford with what you have. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're eating McDonald's 3 times a day. You're eating. That's what matters. So make sure that you eat, even if it's a granola bar or a smoothie, something. Don't let your body go on nothing but some caffeinated drink until 5 p.m. Because although you may not feel it in the morning, once that 5 o'clock hits and you haven't eaten anything, you're going to feel it. So the next one that's normalized to not take care of is sleep. when was the last time you had a conversation with someone and they said something along the lines of, oh yeah, I got this amount of sleep last night? It's just, it's common to be like, oh yeah, I got 2 hours, 1 hour. It's like kind of that competition, who got the least amount of sleep and who can be the most tired and who has like an excuse to kind of be cranky is, oh, I didn't sleep enough. But that is not the way. Not sleeping enough is not good for you. And it is not, because throughout the day, your brain is doing so many things for you to function. Like making sure your organs are working properly, digesting the food you eat, the water you drink, whatever you drink, all the thoughts you have in your head and all the decisions you're making, your brain's working, working, working. Sending signals to your body to, okay, move her legs, she's walking, okay, sit down, relax. Like, your brain is doing so many things throughout the day just so that you are able to move around and live your daily life how you do. Your brain is helping you do all of that. And so at night, getting sleep is a time the brain gets to shut down, not completely obviously, but to rest from the day's work and recuperate for the next day. So when you don't sleep, your brain is not working at an optimal level, and you're going to feel that. You're going to feel it throughout the next day. And I'm one of those people who, it depends. Like, it does shift. There are times where I'm great with sleep, like I'm sleeping enough, I'm feeling great, I'm on a roll, and then there are the times where it shifts and I'm not on a roll and I'm not sleeping enough, and then I have raccoon eyes. Not, it's not fun, and it's also how I know when I'm not sleeping enough. Like, that's the way my body physically shows it to me. The raccoon eyes, the darkness around my eyes. So yeah, if you're like me and gets that, it's not a reason why. Let's get the sleep, the beauty sleep, as they would say. But in all seriousness, try to sleep as much as you can, and also sleep however many hours is good for your body, because not everyone, the average 8 that they say doesn't necessarily work for everyone. So if you sleep less than that and you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go, then do that. Sleep however many hours your body needs to feel refreshed and ready for the next day. And I know this isn't always possible. I encourage you to try to get good rest as much as you can. So now on to the other two. So exercise. Now, exercise, you don't gotta sit here and go to the gym 7 days a week for hours upon end. No. Unless you have like a special routine and you're trying to do some things in the gym, then that's different. But if that's not you, for exercise, it's really just making sure your body's moving. Like, for example, take a short walk if possible. And this could be done easily. Like, okay, you're going to the grocery store, boom, you're gonna spend a while walking. There you go, you got that body moving. Stretching is another thing that can help to get that body movement as well. YouTube has tons of workout videos. I've literally found 5-minute workouts, 10-minute workouts. You can do it at home, in the comfort of your own home, do a little workout, whatever. Boom, you moved your body. There you go. That's it. You can even do a 5-minute warm up and the same thing. It's just making sure that your body is moving and you don't keep it stagnant for too long, especially if you spend long periods of time sitting, not really getting much movement. However, if you are a person who, let's say in your job, you are on your feet and you walk a lot and you move around a lot, you're already getting those exercise in. I would just say that on the days that you're not at work, try to do a little, make sure you're moving a little bit. Nothing too crazy, whatever you can handle and whatever you're comfortable with. And lastly, healthy social interactions. Healthy social interactions, it's however much you can take and what works best for you. If you need to talk to someone every day, then talk to someone every day. If you need to talk to someone every other day, then talk to someone every other day. Just making sure you're connected to those, your loved ones, your friends, and you're talking to them, and your social circle is not made up solely of your coworkers at your work, or like if you're in school, like your classmates. Aside from work and school, you have a life and you have other things, and you need to have that break from those things. So you should have people outside of that where you can talk to, spend time to, and things like that.
Alright, so that's it for part 1 of 7 tips to start practicing self-love. Part 2 will be posted later this week. Make sure you hit the subscribe and bell button to be notified when I post part 2, and check out my Instagram for live updates. Happy Valentine's Day, and I will see you in my next video.